Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another meal prep video. And staying with the theme that I've been staying with, I'm going to be bringing you another no heat meal prep. So I'm not going to be cooking or heating breakfast or lunch this week. Dinner kits are a little bit different. So for breakfast prep, I'm going to be doing strawberry cheesecake overnight oats. And for lunch prep, one of my favorites, pizza pinwheels. And then I'm also going to be putting together a few snacks, and I have 3 dinner kits to do this week. So if you want to see how I pull this all together for my husband and I, then stay with me. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi and I'm Planning Us Healthy. So welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Like I said, my name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Blue program, but on my channel I do provide the points for all 3 programs, and I also share calories as well, and I'd love to have you as part of the family. So I'm going to be meal prepping for my husband and I. We usually just do 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday or Friday we do something different, or sometimes we may have something come up where we bump one of those to Thursday. So typically I do 3 breakfasts and 3 lunches for each of us. So you'll see me doing 6 breakfasts and 6 lunches. And as always, I'll be linking the recipes down in the description box, as well as some of the items that I'm using, like my OXO salad spinner, my scale, different things that you see me using in the video. I will link those down in the description box below, as well as all the links to the recipes. So let's get started with meal prep. So for breakfast this week, I'm going to be doing cheesecake overnight oats. You can do these with any type of fruit. For today, I'm doing strawberry, but the last time I did them, I did my husband's with strawberries and then I did mine with cherries. So you can do any type, any type of fruit that you want on them. For the points and calories on these, not counting the fruit that's on it, calories is 224. And then plus whatever fruit you use. And then for your points, including the fruit, would be 5 points on blue and green and 1 point on purple. So overnight oats on purple are excellent. For overnight oats, if you never had them, they are more of a thick consistency, and we prefer them cold. A lot of people eat them cold, but you definitely can heat them if you prefer your oats to be warm. This is cheesecake flavored pudding. It is sugar-free, fat-free, and this is what I use. I use 1/4 of a package in each meal prep. So on this, the 1/4 of a package is 7 grams. So I'm just gonna put my scale here and just weigh out 7 grams into each one. All right, so that's the only thing I have to weigh. Everything else I can measure. The next thing I'm going to be putting in is 1/2 cup of oats. I use the quick oats, but you can use the old-fashioned. I've actually used both of them and I don't notice a difference. So one thing you can do is you can lower these. You can lower the points if you want and just use like 1/3 of a cup. So I think I have some recipes. Some of my overnight oats only call for 1/3 of a cup. I'm not sure. I think it's the ones I put the chia seeds in. So I'm not going to be putting chia seeds in this one. So we're putting 1/2 cup of oats in each one. Now I'm trying to figure out how, when I made these before, how I fit the milk in these ones, because if you have watched me with overnight oats before, you'll notice that because I use these 8-ounce mason jars, it's very hard for me to get the milk in there. So I'm wondering if when I made these before I used a different size jar. We will see. Next, I'm going to put in, my recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of the monk fruit sweetener. This is the golden kind, which is like the brown sugar kind, but you can put anywhere between 1/2 teaspoon and a whole teaspoon. I think I'm going to do a whole teaspoon. All right, next I'm going to be putting in a teaspoon of cake batter extract. If you cannot find this, I'll link it down below. I can find this at my local Walmart. Next, I'm going to be putting in a tablespoon of sugar-free syrup. So usually I use the Maple Farms Grove sugar-free, but I don't have any of that, so I'm going to use this Mrs. Butterworth's. So 1 tablespoon of that. Finally, we're gonna do a half a cup of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. If you don't have the vanilla kind, you can just use the regular unsweetened. That works just as good. So now is the tricky part. Now we're gonna make sure you have a butter knife and just kind of put that down in there. So we're gonna kind of create a little hole so the milk will fall down in there. And then just slowly pour it in there. And it should bubble down in there. All right, I guess they did fit okay. So these 8-ounce ones, it's a tight squeeze. Now, if I were putting chia seeds in this, I would not use the 8-ounce because chia seeds really thicken it up, so I'd be afraid that it would thicken too much. So I'm gonna have to cut up my strawberries to top it. I'll have to cut up the strawberries pretty thin. So just take the knife and kind of slowly and carefully stir everything up. You don't want to over stir this. And then when you go to eat it, you can just finish stirring it up. So that will sit just like that in my fridge. Well, I'll put the top on it. I'll put the top on it and it'll sit in my fridge. So I'm going to put the milk in the rest of these and then I'll get these strawberries on them. I'm just going to take my strawberries. I've already washed these. And I'm just going to cut some slices and just lay those over the top. So like I said, if you want to do cherry cheesecake, whatever kind you want to do. And there you go. And that is what they look like, and they are so good. And then we just have a few more strawberries left that we'll just use for snacking for the week. So that's it for the breakfast. Moving on to lunch. For lunch prep this week, I'm doing pizza pinwheels. And for these ones, the points and calories are 237 calories and then 6 points on all programs. That is based on the exact ingredients you use in here. So because these type of things can have such a wide variety of ingredients, make sure you plug it into your own tracker to see what the points are. So for these ones, I'm going to be using these La Banderita carb counter wraps. Usually I use the Olay Extreme Wellness wraps, but they're both 1 point. So whatever wrap you use, just make sure to account for the points. This recipe is based on a 1 point wrap. And then 1 ounce of reduced fat ricotta cheese. In my case, I'm using regular ricotta because when I did my Instacart, they claimed they didn't have the part skim ricotta of any brand. So this is what they gave me. So for me, I'm gonna actually be adding an extra point. So for the purposes of the meal prep, it's gonna be based on the reduced fat. If you use regular, it is 1 more point. And then we're also gonna need 12 slices of, I'm saying Publix turkey pepperoni because that's what I use for the points. So again, if you use any other kind of turkey pepperoni, just make sure to plug it in and account for the difference. And then also 1 ounce of Polly-O part skim mozzarella. They didn't have any Polly-O part skim. I like to use like the actual brick of the Polly-O, but they didn't have any. So any part skim mozzarella that you have that is 2 points for an ounce, that's fine. The ounce is about 1/4 cup. And then you can add any type of veggies that you want. I'm just going to add a little bit of, I've got an orange pepper here and a green pepper. I'm just going to dice those up and just put those on there. And the last thing that I'm going to use is some Prego traditional sauce. This is 1 point. So the points on this, the 6 points, include the 1 point worth of Prego. So if you use any type of 0 point marinara, then that would lower your points as well. And for this, I just use 1/8 of a cup. I don't use this in the actual wrap because I don't want it to get soggy, so I'm going to just be putting them in these little individual containers. I'll just measure out 1/8 of a cup, and then we just dip them in it. It's so good that way. For these cups, I get these at the Dollar Tree. You get like 10 of them for $1. I have these ones, the square ones, and then I also have some round ones. I'm going to be using my 3-compartment meal prep containers because I'm going to put a side salad with these. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use this Boston lettuce, and I've got a couple Roma tomatoes in there. I'm going to just put in the side salad, I'm just going to do a very small side salad, and I'm going to use the Boston lettuce, some tomato, and cucumber. So I'm going to just kind of break this apart a little bit and get this washed. And for my cucumber, I'm not going to put that in there because I'm going to be peeling my cucumber. And if you've watched my channel for some time, you know that I use vinegar and water to wash my fruits and vegetables. Okay, so now while the lettuce is sitting there soaking for a little bit, I'm going to put these together. So make sure your station's clean and get everything spread out. And the other thing I forgot to show you, I'm going to be putting on a little bit of basil as well. So just whatever you would normally put on pizza, you can put on these. So now I'm going to take the ricotta and just kind of eyeball so that I get the same amount on each one. Normally I would just weigh each one, weigh out the ounce on my scale, but my scale is about out of batteries. All right, then just spread that around. You want to try to get it as close to the edges as you can. Usually what happens is after I roll these up, I just cut them into like 5 or 6 pieces. So if you don't put it all the way to the edge, you just won't have any in those end pieces, which is usually what happens to me. So once you spread it around, you can tell if you have more on one. So like this one, I can see I have a little bit more. So just kind of use it on the other ones. Okay. So honestly, I think it's better to just weigh it like I did with the whole amount. It takes less time than having to weigh it individually, because once you get it spread out, you can tell the ones that you need to kind of even out. If you have too much on one, just spread it to another. So I think what I'm going to do now is put my basil over the ricotta. So if you want to put some Italian, anything you want. This will just give it a little bit of extra flavor. All right, I was going to add a little bit of oregano, but I can't find my oregano. So I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. And this is not on my recipe, so this is just, I'm kind of just adding this now. Now we're going to add the mozzarella. And we don't melt the mozzarella, we just leave it the way it is. So if you wanted to melt it a little bit, you could at this point, but I like it just cold. Next, I'm going to put the 12 slices of pepperoni on each one. Next, I'm going to cut up just a little bit of the pepper. And then just add the pepper to each one. So if you want to add a little bit of red onion, anything you want to add at this point, just add whatever toppings you want. Okay, now what you're going to do is just start rolling them up. Roll it up like that. And then just cut it into little sections, just so they're kind of like little bite-sized pieces. So like 6 to 8 pieces. And that's what they look like. They are so good. And like I said, I just dip those in some sauce. So now I'm gonna put these into the meal prep container. So I'll just put 4 on each side, and then I'll put my salad in the end. And actually I gotta make room for my sauce too. So as you can see, what I usually do is the ones that have those little ends that there's not really much in, I just push those in the back just to kind of hold them, otherwise they'll kind of open up. So I can't find my 1/8 of a cup, so I'm gonna just use this 1/4 cup and just fill it halfway, just to get an idea of how much I need in each cup. So that's how much I'll be putting in each one. So just enough to dip it in there. Like I said, if you use the 0-point marinara, or maybe you don't even use all that much, you don't even really need to dip it in anything. We just really like to dip it in there. So what I'm gonna do now is the one that had just the 3, I'm gonna put that in that side. And then I'll put the salad in the other. Okay, now I'm gonna put the salad together. So I don't need those in there. So now I'm gonna put the top on there. If you do not have an OXO salad spinner, I love these things. They are so good for spinning out the salad or anything else. Like if you watch my channel, I wash all my fruits and vegetables in there, love it. Okay, that should be good. So now I'm gonna peel my cucumber and dice up my tomato. Okay, I've got the lettuce in there, but it's not really a lot in some of them. So I think I've got some iceberg lettuce here that I had left and I want to use up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of iceberg lettuce in there as well. And I'm going to add the cucumber. Okay, for my tomatoes, I don't want them to get the salad all soggy, the lettuce. So I'm just going to use these little compartments. These are the ones I was talking about. They're the round ones like these. I get those at the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to put my tomato in there. That way, for the next couple days. If I was eating it right now, it'd be different. But because I need this to go for a couple days, I'm just going to use these. That'll do it. I'm just going to be using some light Italian Olive Garden dressing. Just going to be drizzling just a little bit over it. You could spritz it with olive oil, whatever you want to do. I have one of these at work. So it's in my work fridge. So this one, I'll just let my husband take this one with him. We just drizzle a little bit over the top, not even enough to count it as a point. So that's it for lunches this week. Okay, time for dinner kits. I know some of you love the dinner kits. Some of you could care less about the dinner kits. So if you're new here, what I usually do is just kind of DIY dinner kits. Basically, all I'm doing is just kind of prepping the dinner, measuring things out. I'm not washing produce or anything like that. I do that the night that I have it, but I'm just putting all the ingredients in a bag, all the measured out ingredients. That way everything's already portioned out, ready to go. I know how many points it's gonna be. I can pre-track if I want. And that way when I get home from dinner, I just pull the kit out of my fridge. Everything's portioned, everything's weighed, ready to go. And some of the things I put together, like toppings for the meat and things like that. So I'll show you what I'm doing this week. And for the bags that I use, because I always get questioned on these, so I'm gonna start saying it pretty much in every meal prep video. These are reusable bags that I order from Amazon. I just keep washing them and using them. I use a dry erase marker on the front to write everything, and it washes off pretty well. You can kind of see after time, I don't know if you can tell, but you can see a little bit from previous, but it works. I've had these, I've reused these, I don't even know how many times. I think I have 3 or 4 of these total. So I just write what's in the bag. Of course, I write the points and calories just because I'm providing that to you. But as I always say, do not depend on any one person to tell you what the points are. Make sure to put them in your tracker, put them in, you know, whether you're counting calories or Weight Watchers, because it could be different depending on the brands that you use. So I get these ones. These are gallon bags. So I think somebody had mentioned one time they didn't look like gallon. This size is gallon. Then there are also snack size and sandwich size that I've gotten. So they have these smaller ones and then these ones that are more like a sandwich size. And then I also have been getting these ones. These ones I get from Grove. I get a lot of my cleaning products from Grove. I'll link them down below as well. And I love these ones. These are just little, they kind of have like stand-up things on the bottom. So none of these, I don't put any of these in the dishwasher. You can't put these in the dishwasher because the heat is too much. The sealing part can't withstand the heat. So you just have to hand wash them. And I'll link these below. These came in a great big kit. It was like an 80-piece kit, and it's just a cheap one, so just to let you know. And then some of these, like these containers, I got back when I used to order the meal delivery kits, and I just kept them. Okay, so enough of that. So the first one I'm putting together is bacon wrapped feta and broccoli stuffed chicken. And then I'm gonna be pairing this with ranch cauliflower. And with this one, I'm not gonna be having a potato or rice or anything like that. So for this one, what I usually do is just look through the ingredients and see if they're what I can put into the bag. So on this one, I have 2 5-ounce boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I already have those already pre-weighed. When I get my chicken, I usually pre-weigh it. I have 2 ounces of fat-free feta crumbles. I have 2 ounces of broccoli. And then in here, I have 2 teaspoons of breadcrumbs. And then also a garlic clove, 4 slices of Appleton Farms center cut bacon. And finally, a green onion that really needs to get used up. And then for the ranch cauliflower, it's a head of cauliflower and then 2 ounces of light sour cream mixed with 1 teaspoon of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. So that's just like the seasoning like this. And just mix those up, and then that's enough for 2 servings. So now all we're gonna do is just put all this stuff into the bag. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this chicken in this bag just to make sure. Since I have that just in a regular plastic bag, I don't want to take the chance of it seeping out onto the vegetables. And that is it for that one. So you can close them if you want. I've been leaving them open just to give them a little bit of breathing room, and I leave them in my fridge just laying down flat like that. So a lot of people ask me if they go in the freezer or the fridge. I do put them in my fridge. These are used within, usually I only make 2 or 3 dinner kits, so they are used within the first 3 nights. Okay, next I'm doing sheet pan turkey kielbasa and veggie lime crema. So you may have seen me do zucchini and squash lime crema. Basically what the lime crema is just some light sour cream mixed with lime juice. I just use fresh lime juice, but you can use the kind that you buy if you want. But this time I'm gonna just do a whole bunch of veggies. So all I'm gonna do for this one is just throw all my vegetables into the bottom of the bag. I'm gonna use a zucchini. I'm gonna use a yellow squash. I'm gonna use a red onion. I have some carrots here that I wanna use. And also, remember the peppers that we used for the lunches? I'm gonna just cut the rest of these off and put them in this bag. Normally, if these were whole peppers, I'd just toss them in the bag like that, but since it's gonna have the raw part open, I'm gonna put them in a separate bag. All right, so there we go. There's that all cut up. And the next thing I'm gonna be using is, for each of us, we're gonna have 4 ounces of the turkey kielbasa. And this has 13 ounces in it, so I only need 8 ounces of it, but I'm gonna just cook the whole thing. My husband's gonna end up eating more than 4 ounces, I'm sure. And he can have more points in a day than I can anyway. So I'm just gonna leave that to the side for now. Because the other thing I'm gonna do, I have this butternut squash that has been sitting in my pantry for quite a while. These, if you keep these in like a warm area, they stay for quite some time. So I'm gonna get this cut up. So what I usually do is just peel it and then cut it into cubes. Okay, so I'm gonna finish cutting up the rest of these. I'm not gonna need all of this, so I'm just gonna put this in a bag, and then what I'll do is whatever's left, I will just put it in a vacuum sealed bag. I'll use my vacuum sealer and freeze the rest. And then that way, when I wanna make this again, I can just pull out the frozen one. And put that in there. Okay, and then I almost forgot, I need my lime and my light sour cream. So those go in there as well. And then the points on this one are 7 for all programs and 300-ish calories. And the reason why is it's all based on how much of those vegetables you use. So if you are being real strict with your calorie counting and you weigh out your veggies, so make sure to do that. So that's why I kind of put 300-ish. So the points and calories that I put on these bags are for everything in it. So it's 5 points for the 4 ounces of the turkey kielbasa on all programs, and then 2 points for the light sour cream. And finally, the last one. Y'all know I always have salmon. So this one is basil parmesan salmon. This is the one that is a skinny taste recipe. I have kind of tweaked her recipe to bring it down 1 point by using light mayonnaise and a little bit less parmesan. The points here are based on her recipe. So for the salmon alone, the basil parmesan salmon, it is, for her, the way she does it is 3 points for blue and purple and 6 points for green. So I'll link 2 different ones down below. I'll link my website, which if you go to my website, it's only going to give you the ingredients that I use. It's still going to link you to her website to find out how to make it. So for this one, for everything in it, including the rice, so I use a ½ a cup of this long grain and wild rice that I get from Aldi. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to use this week because I'm kind of trying to cut back on my carbs, so we'll see. But that includes the ½ a cup of that. So 6 points on blue and purple, 9 points on green, and 400 calories. And all I'm gonna have with this is some steamed broccoli. I have my broccoli here that I'll just put in there. So just put however much broccoli you want in there. And then I'm not gonna put my rice in there. In here is the topping for the salmon. This is just a mixture of light mayonnaise, parmesan, and basil. So normally I do a pound of salmon, and then I make enough for 4 portions in here. But these are just 2 5-ounce portions, so I just have 1½ tablespoons of light mayonnaise and 1½ tablespoons of parmesan in here, and then some basil. So that is going in, and then my salmon, and that is it for that one. That one's super easy. I pretty much make a real easy salmon one each week. Moving on to snacks. For snacks this week, I'm just doing some sugar-free pudding. I have my yogurt that I absolutely love. These are the Dannon Light and Fit Greek Strawberry Cheesecake. So those are 2 points, those are 2 points. These are 70 calories, 80 calories. And then I have some blueberries. I've already washed these. And then over here, I have some watermelon that I had picked up the other day. So I'm gonna just cut that up and put that in a container, and then we'll have that to snack on throughout the week. I have some celery that I really need to get used up. So I'm just gonna cut some of this up and just put it in a bag. And then we'll have this to snack on throughout the week as well. Actually, I think I'm just gonna cut it into little pieces like that. I don't know, if you're like me, if I have celery in my fridge and I just want to grab something, I'm more apt to grab it if it's already washed, cut up, and ready to go, rather than if I have to pull the bag out, cut it all up. If it's in my fridge like this, I'm not as apt to do it. So this way, it's all ready for me. So that's it for snacks this week, and of course I have to save some of these for my bird. So here's what we ended up with this week, and as I always say, if you are new to meal prepping, just starting out, make sure to start slow. You don't have to do any big thing like this. Even just cutting up your celery is a form of meal prep. You don't have to do anything big. So let me know in the comments what you're all meal prepping this week, and if you like meal prep videos, make sure to give this a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Kristi, and I'm Planning Us Healthy.
Not necessary?
No, it's not. Next, I'm going to be putting in a tablespoon of sugar-free syrup. Why'd you do that? All right, so that's the only thing I have to weigh. Everything else I can measure.
You can't have both. You can either weigh them or measure them. What do you want to do?
Oh, Lord, help me. Go back in the pool. This one's, it is 236 calories. No, I can't even read numbers today. Getting old sucks. You want to say hi? They've been asking to see you. KJ, want blueberry? No, you're already stepped up. Did y'all hear him? He said step up. Here, you want your blueberry? Oh, you're not gonna eat on camera? Are you like me? Do I need to put like the giraffe up while you're chewing? Here, step up. Step up. It's in there, don't worry. You want me to go put it in your cage with you? Step up. Step up. Oh, he just crept on the floor. All right, say bye.